All right, today we're going to take a journey, a visual journey, deep inside one of the body's most complex and absolutely vital organs. Get ready, because we're about to build a complete structural atlas of the liver. So first up, let's get a sense of scale. The average adult liver weighs about 1.5 kilograms. That's around 3 pounds. That makes it, by a long shot, the largest solid organ in your body, a true heavyweight champion. But, its size is really just the start of the story. To really get what this organ does, think about this. What single organ in your body does the work of 500 separate chemical plants? Yup, the answer is the liver, and we are about to see exactly how it's built to pull off that incredible feat. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Part 1, your body's powerhouse. We're going to locate and get to know our hardest working organ. So where is this thing actually hiding? Well, it's not just floating around in there. It's perfectly tucked away in the upper right quadrant of your abdomen, nestled safely behind the protection of your rib cage. Now, let's zoom out and look at the big picture, the liver's grand design. I find it helps to think of it like a huge, super efficient city, with its own districts, highways, and critical infrastructure. The main districts of the city are its 4 lobes. You've got the massive right lobe, the smaller left lobe, and then a couple of other smaller ones, the caudate and quadrate lobes. And the whole thing is held securely in place by a series of ligaments that anchor it right there in your abdomen. So how does the city get its supplies? This is where the liver's design gets really, really cool. Unlike pretty much any other organ, it has a dual blood supply. You have the hepatic artery, think of that as the fuel line, bringing fresh, oxygen-rich blood from the heart to keep all the cells powered up. But then you have the portal vein. This is the raw materials delivery. It brings nutrient-packed blood straight from your digestive system, loaded with everything you just ate, all ready to be processed. This large-scale setup is impressive, for sure, but the liver's true genius, the secret to its incredible processing power, well, it's hidden from the naked eye. To find that secret, we need to zoom in. I mean, way in. We're going to explore what I like to call the hexagonal engine, the functional building block of the entire organ. And this is it. It's called the hepatic lavule. This little hexagonal structure is the absolute core of everything the liver does. The entire organ is made up of millions and millions of these tiny, perfectly organized processing plants, all packed together like a honeycomb. It's beautiful. So, how do supplies get into each of these little factories? Well, at every corner of the hexagon, you find a structure called the portal triad, and it's basically a perfect miniature of the liver's main supply system. It's a bundle that has a branch of the portal vein for all the raw materials, a branch of the hepatic artery for oxygen, and a bile duct to carry the finished products away. The key thing to get here is the direction of the flow. Blood comes in from the portal triads at the edges and flows inwards through these special channels called sinusoids. As it trickles along, it's getting cleaned and processed by the liver's main cells. Then, finally, all this processed blood collects and exits through one central vein, right in the middle of the hexagon. And that brings us to our deepest level of magnification. It's time to meet the micro-workers, the actual cells and channels on the front line doing all the heavy lifting. And when we talk about workers, one cell type just completely dominates. A staggering 80% of the liver's entire mass is made up of just one kind of cell. These are the hepatocytes. You can think of them as the tireless laborers on the factory floor. These cells are metabolic powerhouses. They're the ones doing the liver's most critical jobs, processing nutrients, detoxifying all the harmful stuff in your blood, and producing bile, which is essential for digestion. So here you can see the whole assembly line in action. The blood flows through those sinusoids, which are these really leaky channels that let the blood make direct contact with the hepatocytes. As those cells do their work, they produce bile, but the bile flows in the opposite direction, into tiny little ducts called bile canaliculae. These then merge together and carry the bile out towards the portal triad. It's just a perfect two-way system. Okay, let's zoom all the way back out. We've seen the blueprint for life, from a single cell all the way up to this vital organ. What we've really explored are the layers of complexity. We started with the whole organ, the powerhouse. We broke it down into its lobes, the districts. Then we zoomed into the functional lobules, the processing plants. And finally, we met the individual hepatocytes, the workers on the front line. It really is a masterpiece of biological engineering. It all boils down to this one simple, powerful idea. The liver's incredible power comes from its perfectly organized multi-layered structure. In this organ, more than almost any other, form truly follows function. Every single level of its anatomy is designed for maximum efficiency. And I'll leave you with one final, absolutely awe-inspiring thought about this structure. This entire, unbelievably intricate system can completely regenerate from just 25% of its original mass. So, the question I have for you is this. Is that the closest thing we humans have to a real-life superpower?